This is true.
Yeah. There we go.
Do you think it was because I was humming the Animal Crossing tune? Do you think Nintendo's just like really on it?
About their Nintendo music? Oh yeah, because you did show your screen too.
I broke it.
You did. Also, that mark is really powerful. Smelly. Okay.
Oh yeah, that's because it's an alcohol marker.
I can, yeah.
So soulful. Like a bird. Cat looks like a bird. I know, I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to say anything copyrighted. I didn't mean to. It's popped into my head. Oh, Nelly Furtado. Oh, I can't say her name. Is she copyrighted? Wah. Wah. Yes. I don't really know how celebrity stuff works. I gotta give them a little bit of wrist touch. It's important that we really emphasize the chonkiness.
Of this boy?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got 2 people now.
Beautiful boy.
Yay,
Oh
2 people. AJ's on.
AJ! Someone's on. Wait, I don't need to talk in the chat because I'm talking to the video.
Yes, you are.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just drawing random crap while we wait for people. Let's give him a little tail. Yay! Oh my god, I would die for him. You know, under all of that fluff, he's so wrinkly. I know you're always like making fun of hairless cats, but all cats are exactly that wrinkly underneath. And that's the secret. That's their secret.
For cats?
For cats.
For drawing cats.
They're wrinkly goblins who just dress really nice. That shit.
You keep breaking my stuff.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't mean to.
Any tips and tricks on how to draw in general?
How to draw in general?
Yeah, because you learned some stuff at NC State about how to.
Yeah. All right.
Mackenzie says to draw a spleen.
Oh, I don't know what the fluff a spleen looks like.
Nick says a sock.
If Nick wants to request stuff, they can get in the chat. I can show you how to draw a sock, though. That's pretty easy. Yeah. All right. First thing you got to do is not really know what a foot looks like because they're weird and uncomfortable. No one likes to draw them. So if I was going to draw a sock, I would think there's like an ankle. That'd probably be, I don't know, a cylinder. And then you got a ball for the heel. And then the foot part looks like a stupid little box. Just like that. Yeah, that's almost like a foot. I think it's pretty close. Oh, hello, Brianna. Hello, Francis. I'm apparently showing people how to draw a sock by not drawing a foot. I do not know how to draw a spleen. Okay, you want a spleen? Here's a spleen. It's probably got some like weird veins. I don't know. There. I drew a spleen. I hope you're happy. God, I'm still trying to draw a sock. Oh, God, I gotta stop humming. Okay, you know, I'm just not even gonna mention it because I think even talking about it is gonna make YouTube mad at me.
Oh, Austin's in here.
Fuck.
Ear to
Hi,
syndrome.
Austin. It is. It's a fleshy whoopee cushion. Isn't that the worst thing you've ever imagined? It's you sit on it and it farts and it squelches. Aw. I love bastard cats.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna dive right into drawing. Thank you. It does look vaguely like a foot, which is really the goal. Yeah, that's an onomatopoeia. Squelches. That's not a sound you want to make with your mouth or your body. So I guess I'm just gonna show y'all my pretty bullshit approach to art, which is just to wing it and not care when it's, you know, freaking whatever. People are like, art, should you be good at art? No, don't be good at art, because if people think you're good at art, they'll expect you to do things, and that's awful. So definitely just like do mediocre and cruise. Like, that's my advice. As a professional artist who gets money for art, don't try hard. So when drawing cats, it's important to remember, hi Michael, that they're stupid little Play-Doh looking guys. Yeah, we have Vivi in the background looking like an orb. So the reason I chose cats, besides I only care about cats and nothing else, is basically any shape can become a cat. So right off the bat, you're doing really well. So like, here's a blob. Good. Beautiful. A blob. How is this blob a cat? All I gotta do is add a couple details. Womp. Cat. It's the same thing with this blob. What's this blob? Is it a bean? No. It's a cat. It's a cat on a shelf. Right away.
Play-Doh.
See? It's so easy. So if you're thinking, I assume you're thinking, I've had a little wine, so I'm not thinking. All you have to do is stick a face on anything and it becomes a cat. How to do a cat face? Well, I'm going to show you. So, is it the microphone?
No.
What you want to do is just slam down a big oval. It doesn't have to be good. Bold of you to assume I think you're thinking of assuming. Shut up. Don't shut up. I'm sorry. Anyway, so you've got this really fantastic oval. You're already halfway there just with this. You're going to want to take that oval and break it into two, just halves. And now I'm going to show you the kitty trick. All you need to do is add some circles, add a triangle, and then add the kitty lips. Look at that, already a cat face. Circles above the half, nose and kitty lips below the half. Kitty lips look a little bit like a headless stickman who's doing his best. Bam. And eyeballs. Generally orbular, but
No, don't eat that.
Phoebe, for goodness sakes. But you can get crazy with it if you want. I forgot how to use this marker. No, this is an anime cat.
You stop eating the lights. No, don't eat the lights.
Boom. Yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that. So you've got your beautiful oval. It's got some face. Where do you put the ears? The ears start right above the inner corners of the eyes and end right about the outer corner of the eyes. See these helpful dots? Inner corner, outer corner. This is a little bitty forehead. It's so tiny. You think there'd be more. There's not. What do the ears look like? They look like big, stupid triangles. Can you draw half an oval? That's a big, stupid triangle. I guess the message here is draw a lot of ovals, and eventually you'll have art. The cat nose. It's not actually a triangle. I'm going to teach you a sick trick to draw cat noses, which is, have you ever drawn that seagull? You know, the one that looks like that? And it's like, caw, caw. And there's like a sun. And then there's going to be like an ocean. Everyone's drawn that, right? Little bird. That's what a cat nose is. It's a little bird. He's flapping. And then he just connects down like a little bird triangle. Cats have weird lips. They're not like our lips. They're cuter. They've got this separated thingy. When it happens in humans, we like to correct it because sometimes it makes it hard for people to eat food. But when it happens in cats, it's considered desirable. The great thing about kitty lips is generally they point down, but they also kind of like humans point up. Yay! And the edge of the kitty lips is generally the midpoint of the eye. And then you got a little chin. And the chin is just like a smiley face, but it has no eyes. It's so simple.
That looks exactly like BC, except for the anime eyelashes.
Does BB not wear falsies?
Oh.
We're going to bring this. Yes. 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 Yeah. It's gonna get a little heart. Because who's gonna stop me? And then if you want the rest of the cat head, you just trace the outside of the oval. Blammo. You've made a cat head. And all you did was draw some ovals and sticks. And a bird. At least one bird.
Hi, Chase.
Hi, Chase. Chase, are you beautiful? Yeah, you are. Okay. Let's do a cat head from the side. What's that look like? Guess what? It's another oval. But you're really freaking surprised. It's all ovals. You're going to cut that bad boy kind of in half. It's not going to be totally in half, and you're not going to worry about it because this is a safe space, and we don't judge people's ability to draw lines here, especially not mine. So once again, you've got that midline. Eyeball still above it. Chase, I love you. I'm sorry. Put her down. You've got an eye. And more importantly, you've got a little bitty muzzle, which you can think of as like another oval just plopped onto that oval. It's going to be below the midpoint a little bit. And I wonder if this is easier to draw the skull. I don't know. Okay. So here's the whole eyeball. You don't need to show the whole eyeball unless you're drawing something very scary. So you're going to do like a Pac-Man slice. I'm going to make that darker so you can see it. This cat looks a little sad now. But you can see it's only part of the circle. Dang. So once again,
Jeez, come back.
we've got the bird, but this time we're only showing half the bird. Earlier we were like, damn, look at this bird, it's far away and it's flying into the sunset. But because we're looking at it from the side, the bird becomes a lot rounder. And it turns out his wings are fancy. So I think a lot of people think cats have pointy noses. It's not really, not totally true. I forgot to explain what I'm doing. So you're gonna want to do the forehead outside of that circle and connect it with the nose, which is going to be on the front of this circle. And then you have the chin. And here's a fun thing. The eye is still going to point up to the ear. The difference is now you're looking at it from the side. So that ear kind of comes down a little bit. Bam. Whiskers. Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's a pretty kitty.
Thank you. It looks a little bit like a bulldog, but
It's a very muscular kitty.
he's beefy. I made the nose too small. What you really want to do is make the nose too small and then go back in and try and fix it. But then it doesn't work. And you go, okay, that's fine. We're not here to do things well. Can I draw a cat bug? Yes, I can draw a cat bug.
Cat bug?
He's from Brightest Orders. Oh my god. Why did I marry you? I need a picture of Catbug because I don't think I can just remember what Catbug looks like, except I think ovals.
Let me see if we can pull it up on my phone.
Let's talk about easy cats to draw. Because we're not trying to make an effort. We're trying to stop looking into the void for 5 minutes. Oh, there's Catbug. Oh no. Can I show Catbug? Is he copyrighted? Too bad. If this stream gets canceled, it was for a good reason. So, Catbug. He's essentially a big ass oval sitting on another oval.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just watching. And getting high from the alcohol fumes. Woo!
I get high from alcohol fumes.
Hi, BC.
Catbug's eyes are like super close to his mouth and he has no nose, but he's really cute, so no one cares. Ooh.
BC.
Cool. Here we have the circles. Which is probably how they did the construction lines for Catbug, honestly. He just looks like a bean.
I liked the thing that you learned about drawing in lighter colors or in like in highlighters even, and then drawing again over it with darker colors, so that way you know definitively what you're trying to emphasize.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Oh, thank you, Brianna. Cat. Okay, so the reason I draw on one marker that's light and then another marker that's not light is because this is basically my fuck up marker. So this is me just winging it. I don't know where shit goes. I'm making it up. But then once it's there, I can look at it and be like, oh shit, that's bad. And I'm going to change it just a little bit. And that's the second marker. Because it's important to really mess up when you're doing stuff. It's healthy.
I like it.
If you did it perfectly every time, you'd feel so much pressure. And no one wants that. Also, if you mess it up, other people see you messing it up and they're like, hot diggity damn, I'm not the only bitch who messes my shit up all the time. And now they feel good about themselves. I remember I went to like this museum. Oh, it was the crazy drug dude. No, he didn't do drugs. His stuff looked like drugs. He did a lot of staircases. He did a lot of staircases, and it looked like that part in Labyrinth when David Bowie is like going after the underage girl, and he's like, "Hey, baby, come get me," but then the staircases are like upside down, and some of them aren't, and some of them are like going into each other. Anyway, that artist. Hold on. Escher. Thank you. Yeah, the creepy staircase guy. Escher. Anyway, that bitch can draw some fucking shit. Like, damn. But then I go into this museum and I'm looking at all this crazy shit and I'm like, is this man just like vomiting these weird staircases like from whole cloth? Is he just like mind to hand? No. He used a ruler. This dude was sketching. He was making some shitty ass lines. They were still there. They had like his sketches. His freaking, his bad shit was there, is what I'm saying. Like, along with the good shit, though. So you're like, this dude didn't just sit down and, like, do some crazy-ass staircase work, and now he's famous. This dude fucked up a million staircases and eventually was like, I'm going to ink this one. And now it's in a museum. So I think that's, like, that's inspiring. Because I mess up a lot of stuff, and I've only physically been in a museum. I've never had my stuff in a museum. Anyway, I forget what I was talking about.
Drawing a lot and lighter colors, and then going over with a darker color.
Oh, yeah.
And then, yeah. Any other, like, if you want to just draw more cats, or if people have requests for...
Let's talk about skeletal anatomy.
Oh, jeez.
So when we're talking cats are a lot like humans. They have similar, like, bones and meat and stuff. But there's a big old difference. The scapula. Now, human, let's say, here's this guy. I'm going to name him Fred. Fred, he's worried because he's now involved in this. So don't worry about Fred. Fred has these little human arms, and he's got these little human hands. And as you can see, he looks like a Scooby-Doo villain, but that's just because he's anxious. And Fred can stand like this because Fred's little ribcage torso is kind of shaped like a box of cereal. Like, if you just popped Fred's head off, you could pour some Lucky Charms out of this bad boy. The cats aren't shaped like that. If Fred was shaped like a cat, Fred would look a lot freaking weirder. So, like, here's Fred again. He's more concerned because now I've done something unspeakable to him. And that is, I'm giving Fred a cat rib cage. And kitty rib cages look like crazy eggs. And they're also like, if this is a human rib cage from the side, once again, box, box, box. A kitty rib cage is more like a big old wide egg, lots of bones. So right off the bat, Fred's worried because his whole shit has just been messed up. Also, his spine is fused differently, so he's probably getting used to that. But more importantly, Fred's scapula is messed the shit up. So instead of, looking like this, a human man with a nice human shoulder and a nose, why not? Fred now looks like this kind of weird monstrosity. All right? So his scapula is now kind of just sticking out. He looks a little bit like a crystal gem, like it's an outfit, but it's bone. So it's not as fun. His scapula is sticking out, and now his upper arm is functioning a little differently because you're used to that whole socket thingy-majig sticking straight out. That's how your arms work. Everyone's cool with that. It don't do that anymore. Now it's going down through this nonsense that's shown up on the side of his ribs, and he's got that arm shit going on. So like, this front isn't a good angle to show it. So here's our human. And I'm telling you this because it's good to refer to your own anatomy when you're drawing shit. Because then, like, you can feel it in your own bones. So here's a normal human. He's got the scapula on the back. He's got the shoulder joint. And he's on all fours because he's kinky. But he's feeling pretty good. There's our human dude. Here's human dude. Now he's got my cat skeleton. So right, we got this big old egg. That's unfortunate. He's not going to fit into his shirts anymore. Now his scapula isn't laying flat. His scapula is sticking up like that right behind his neck. And then his upper arm is hanging down, and then his lower arm, and then the wrist, and then that. So, like, it looks like he'd be good in sequins, but actually the shape of his back is different, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And if we were going to keep making Fred the human roar like a cat...
Ow!
He's not okay with this. He's got a much smaller pelvis, too. Humans have pretty big pelvises because we do upright walking, like, all the time. He no longer has this problem. He's an abomination of nature. So rather than have this very long femur and this foreleg and this foot, he's got a shorter femur and a shorter calf, and his ankle is just going crazy. So, like, if this is a human ankle, hold up, I want another color. If this is a human, fudge is the wrong side. This is a human ankle. We'll add some legs so it looks a little less frightening. And this is a human foot. Whereas that same bone right there is now all of this nonsense. Look at that. That thing is stretched out to heck. And now you've got feet foot. Incredible. It should be noted, cats have all the same hand bones we do, except theirs are weird. I feel like I shouldn't have drawn the human. I feel like I should have just drawn right to cat. Anyway, Nate, where's my pen?
No.
Boop. Okay. So when you're drawing a cat, these are the only forms you want to... Oh, cool. Thank you. These are the only forms you want to care about. Everything else you can just be like, fuck it. I'm going to do that live action. So you have the head form. You've got that rib cage, that crazy egg. And then you've got the scapula going down, the upper arm, the lower arm, and the hand and wrist. And so let's break that apart with some colors. So you have this form, that's the scapula. more colors. Here's the forearm, and the forearm has a range of motion. It can, go forward, like cats can stretch out like this if they really want to. But generally, when a cat is just standing, it's going to be tucked back, and it's also going to terminate around where the end of the rib cage is. Give me another color. Cat, dang it. Frick. All right. Then you've got that forearm, radius and ulna, same as yours. Ooh, that one's much darker. You can see the heck out of that radius and ulna. And then you've got a wrist. People forget cats have wrists. They're looking at a cat paw and they think, oh, this is just a tube. And then there's a paw. I mean, it works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. But technically, it's more like, here's a tube. Here's a little break for the wrist. This cat's like, and then there's a paw. These are 3 separate things. Oh my god, I have a purple. And then you got the feet. And then, let's see. When it comes to the back legs, you got the teeny pelvis all the way back there. Or if you're Bruno, it's much farther. He's a long noodle boy. Once again, you've got that, where's that color? The femur. This one comes forward. So like this arm kind of comes back like a burnt. This one tends to come forward. And then what color did I use? We have same thing, radius and ulna. But then we get to that ankle. And boy howdy, is there a lot of it. Big difference. And then you got the feet. Incredible.
That's incredible.
A very good command of anatomical knowledge. I don't know.
Yeah.
What else is there? Is that good?
Draw chipmunks.
Draw a chipmunk? Okay. I can do that. Where's
Here you go.
Yeah, I need a picture of a chipmunk. I mean, I'm gonna guess.
Cute and adorable.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, look at a little face. Oh my god. Oh, he's so cute. Oh. Okay, which one should I do?
That one's cute.
That one's cute?
Yeah.
All right.
Drawing a chipmunk now.
Drawing a chipmunk. Can I show the picture?
Yeah, I guess so.
Here's the picture. It's a rodent, I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
One thing about rodents is, first let me do line of extra real quick. They've got kind of weird triangle heads. So like, it's almost like this shape.
Mackenzie loves that rodent.
Thank you. It's a good rodent. And also got big ass eyes. I'm just gonna draw the skull. It's harder not to draw the skull. A little nose, a little mouth, and then big old cheeks. Drawing that. I don't know if this is actually showing anyone how to draw a chipmunk, but you know.
said, it's a matter of just drawing and just doing it. Not perfect.
Yeah, we're not here to do good chipmunks. We're here to remember Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers and that it was a really good show and Gadget was super cute and a lot of people had a crush on her. And that's how they became furries. The 90s was a wild time for children. There's a lot less like furry cartoons out there now than there was in the 90s. Like it was a big thing.
Mhm.
Like everyone was like, what if we made a show about cats? But they were hot and bipedal. And everyone else was like, that sounds like it won't mess up a generation. And then they did it. He's got these big eyes. Doop, doop, doop. Well, I'm draw rodents that often, so we're gonna see if this looks anything like a chipmunk at the end.
So I like also how you really pointed out to me, because I'm not an art person,
Mm-hmm.
about how you could tell which artists were super gay by what they use as reference.
All right, you can just say we'll say their names. We can do that. It's Leonardo and Michelangelo.
Yeah. And that's when they did their sculptures or their paintings or whatever, they went into a lot of details for the men. And then for the women, they were just like, I think this is what the anatomy looks like, and just threw it on there.
Okay, I don't generally tell people to look up naked drawings, but like before you die, for the love of gosh, please find one of Leonardo's drawings of like female sex genitalia, because it is wild. That man, and okay, we know for a fact bro was going out to graveyards and like digging up corpses and being like, that man who took apart so many dead people very illegally clearly never got to see under a woman's skirt. I assume it went something like, and so he just winged it. And every one of his drawings, he's kind of just like, I think there's a hole somehow, but I'm not sure. Anyway, he's one of the great artists of ever, and literally too gay to function. Literally too gay to look at a vagina, which is a serious level of gay. I mean, like, you know, most people, even if they're not into it, can like stand to see it. This man clearly had a phobia. Michelangelo just drew women exactly like men, but if they had grown to peach-like tumors under their pecs. So if you look at like the Sistine Chapel and you're like, wow, are those very butch ladies or men or women? Maybe he was doing like an early gender bending thing. I don't think so. I think the guy was super gay and just didn't care about titties. Which I can respect. I mean, you don't have to. But, you know, if you're going to paint something on a chapel that's going to, like, last forever, maybe, like, look at a boob. Well, maybe he was just there for fun. He was like, you know what? I got some beef with the Vatican, and they're not getting any good boobs. And then he stuck to it. You know, if the Vatican wanted me to draw a bunch of ladies on a ceiling, I'd be like, first of all, I'm Jewish. Second of all, no. But I guess back in the day, you couldn't say no to the Vatican or they'd, like, burn you. They don't do that as much anymore, which is good. Doesn't look a ton like a chipmunk, but if we have the stripes, yeah, now it looks more like a chipmunk. Close enough. I'm gonna give it a little kawaii. Oh, Kira. Oh, sparkle. Sparkle. Fun fact, chipmunks, much like hamsters, have flesh sacs in their cheeks that, like ours end about here. You can only get like maybe 20 grapes in your mouth before you're going to have a bad time. Theirs run all the way down their neck and like along their rib cage. So like you're looking at a hamster this big, that little fellow can get something as big as him just in his cheek, which is when you grab him later and it feels very strange. And you're like, oh my God, what happened to my hamster? He's just storing way too much stuff in his flesh sack. I don't know what else to call it. It's a flesh sack.
Wouldn't we just call it like a food pocket of some sort, or?
Food pocket sounds much better. It's like a pelican, but if it was sideways and full of sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
All right. This is a mediocre hamster. I mean, you know what? We're not here for perfection. We're here for fun facts about chipmunks, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone wants me to draw anything else. Oh wait, I was gonna show how to draw cats really easy. So here's a way to draw a cat really easily. Impress your friends. Oval. We know we're good. We're starting out with an oval. Another oval that just kind of like is leaning into that oval. Maybe it fell over. The oval is like holding up the other oval. Someone drank too much.
Just checking.
And then boop, boop. Add some more little ovals and a little boopy tail. Bam! You've just drawn yourself a cat.
Why does that look like a corgi?
Corgis don't look like that, first of all. Second of all, I'm extremely offended. I mean, it could be a corgi.
I mean, this body part looks like a loaf, which corgis are loaves.
Okay, it's... Dogs and cats have a little bit different.
What's the difference between the dogs and cats and their bodies? I mean, I know dogs have a longer snoot.
So, like, you know how cat rib cages are an egg?
Yeah.
Well, dog rib cages are also like an egg. The difference is where the cat spine attaches to the pelvis, it really doesn't adhere to that contour. So a cat's stomach will kind of go just like that. And some of them will have this little extra pudge bit. That doesn't look like anything wholesome going on. But a dog's, where it connects to its pelvis, it's kind of like, you know, it goes up and in, I guess. Dogs don't have as many organs. That's inaccurate. They have a lot of organs, but it's shaped differently. So a cat is more box-like. Well, a dog will be like a box that's cut out. Hold on. So even like, yeah. So here's a cat, box. Here's a dog, box is cut out. So like a corgi is gonna look like a loaf, like just a box. But that is because this corgi has been bred to have a great deal of floof going on over here. For you to shave that corgi, which the corgi probably wouldn't appreciate it, you would still have that sort of thing going on. So fur is a lie, basically. I guess I should draw the rest of the corgi. Give them a little head, big ears. Boop, boop. Yay. Now it's a corgi.
See, dog heads seem like very square compared to the cat head.
Yeah.
Where's the cat head now? Earlier.
Okay. Well, part of that is because, hold on, let me draw a really quick skull. Okay. So there's our dog skull. Use a different color. Oh, it's way darker. Oops. All right. So a dog skull will typically, the angle of the forehead is going to be the same as the angle of the nose. So that's why you're going to get that kind of boxy feeling when you look at a dog skull. It's not necessarily because it's incredibly different. It's because you have these parallel lines going on.
Yeah.
So when we talk about a cat skull, cat skulls tend to have an angle like this and then an angle that kind of deviates. So these two lines would never touch. And it makes it feel a lot more round.
How much animal anatomy did you have to study to draw those skulls like that? Because already Abby is like mind blown.
Oh, I don't know, I drew a lot of skulls. I just think they're neat.
Yeah. Well, also you used to be a goth teen.
Used to.
Well, you're not a teen anymore.
First of all, no, I guess technically not. Ooh, I could draw a human skull. Let's do a human skull. Who doesn't like human skulls? Their metal is flip-flops. Okay, so to draw a human skull, you've got a circle. We're not going for an oval. That's for kitties. Circles are for people. We're going to do the same thing we did for the cat, though. We're going to break the circle in half, vertically and horizontally. The difference is, I ate a lot of chocolate.
The question is, how are you so magic?
Yeah, that's my answer. Is I ate a lot of chocolate. The difference is, when we're looking at a human skull, it's really more like a ball with the sides cut off. So like, let's say you've got a clay ball. Someone comes in with a butter knife and just slices your ball. They don't ask you for permission. They just do this. And you're really offended at first, but then you're like, yeah, actually, human heads are kind of flat on this side. See? Flat. That's normal, probably.
I'm just looking at the chat.
So, to get your human skull, we're going to take that beautiful sliced up ball and we're going to remember how brows work. I guess I'm not really explaining things. I'm just kind of doing it again.
Yes, you are.
Sorry. Okay, I'll explain. So, the half where this little line is, this little line, boop, 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 the halfway point of the ball, that's where your brow bone is. So, your brow bone is actually the top of your occipital bone. So, starting off with your brow bone, you can go down and just kind of make holes for the eyes. And if we're still looking at this kind of ball shape in terms of like what our proportions are, it's going to be about another fourth of that ball. So if you split this ball up into fourths, you would have the eyes and then the nasal cavity. And the nasal cavity is fun. Once again, we're back to that seagull. happens a lot. Oop.
Using a music channel.
Now it's attacking me. And so if we go off of that ball, you can measure it like with your fingers. So here's the first half of the ball. It's about yay big. Second half of the ball. Same. It's supposed to be 1/2, 1/2. If you come down again from the bottom of the ball, that's gonna have flip-flops. That's gonna be the bottom of the jaw. So 1/2, 1/2, another 1/2. And trying to remember what jaws look like.
Should I put it up?
No, I'm gonna explain it. So your mouth, if this is where your nose is, incredible. And this is where the bottom of your chin is, your mouth is gonna be about in the middle. Yeah. He looks like he's wearing a ski mask. But the thing about the mouth is this is where the top of the skull attaches to the mandible? I think it's the mandible. Maxillian mandible. Anyway, I don't care anymore. So, remember how we were saying with the cat, the side of the mouth kind of terminates in the middle of the eye? It's the same thing with the human. So you've got this shape for the front of your mouth, and you can feel it. Like, I've got a lot of squish, but I've still got like this part. I can stick my fingers in here and they go back. That's because there's no frickin' bone there. But there's bone up here. This is your zygomatic arch. It goes under your eye sockets. And it is where you apply your highlighter when you want to get that pop. So apply highlighter here. But this is basically, give or take some Hauser eye on the sides that nobody cares about. This is basically the top half of the skull. And you got some teeth. Everybody loves teeth, unless everyone who likes to chew. And then, what's all this nonsense? Boom, it's your mandible. Generally, where it stops being kind of straightish will be around just above where your upper teeth are. And then it'll go down. And then you got some more jaw. I don't know. Let's make it look more like a skull.
Hi, BC. Just this massive thud on the keyboard.
He's beautiful and he knows it.
He does. And he's coming over.
Hi, BB.
He's gonna stick on the keyboard.
BB, are you gonna help me out by not helping me out? Man, I really like looking at it from this angle and now looking at it there. I have a very skewed perspective of what this pad looks like when it is not facing me directly. I'm just like, okay, this one's going to a party. That's fine. He's feeling chill.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. How long has this been? Has this been a thing? This has been an hour.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So any other requests or questions other than how Paige is magic?
No. Paige isn't magic. Paige just likes to be metal. Now you can label them. Frontal.
All right.
Temporal.
So I guess this was a hit. If more folks want another stream of art and drawing, drop us a comment or subscribe to us. Send us a comment or question of what else you want to learn how to draw. Hope you all are staying safe. Thank you all for joining us.
Don't get disease.
Yes, and
Hi,
BC
Mimi.
is here
Hi,
again. I'll go ahead and end the stream now. So.
All right. Bye.